Hello, Algebra 1 parents and students. My name is Brian Higginbotham. I'm a geometry teacher at Grapevine High School. I teach on-level geometry and pre-AP geometry. And I just want to talk to you a minute about what is the difference between on-level and pre-AP geometry. First of all, geometry is very different than Algebra 1, so it's hard to know how well a student's going to do based on how they did in Algebra 1, but we're going to try to do the best we can in making the right choice. But one of the things on level that we look at is the same topics. It covers all the main things that they need for college and to meet the TEKS, and it's on things that are on the SAT. All of that stuff's going to be there, but just maybe at a little bit less depth and a little slower pace. One of the things that we do, the test, will look very similar to the review. And so that'll be helpful for some students that need a lot of repetition and seeing the same thing over and over. One of the things that we do with the on-level is we integrate more of the algebra into the problem solving. This is how we kind of add rigor to the problems, still covering the basic geometry concepts, but also helping improve their algebra scores for the further classes down the road, algebra 2, pre-cal, college algebra, that type of thing. When we go to pre-AP class, same topics, at a little faster pace, and maybe hit a few extensions that we wouldn't see in an on-level class. There's going to be more applications of the problems, so in problems that they will see, will learn the concepts, but then we'll apply it in different ways than examples given at the beginning of the lesson. And the test, what we'll do is combine some of the concepts, possibly with things already learned, and then maybe even in applications that they've never seen before, because this is what they're going to get in AP Calculus class, in a college class, in the real world, on a job. They're going to have to combine things that they know in new ways, and sometimes this can cause frustration for our kids if they're not used to doing that, or if they haven't done very much of that. So. Pre-AP class is going to be geared a little bit more towards preparing students for obviously AP Calculus, AP Physics, but then kids that their strengths are more in math and science and they think they may be pursuing more of a technical degree in college. So, if a student has trouble thinking outside the box, then pre-AP might be hard for them. There are sometimes many ways to approach a problem, not all of them. Many right ways, but some may be easier than others. But for that student, if they can come up with more than one way, that's going to be very helpful to them in a pre-AP class. One of the things about pre-AP geometry is it can be taken concurrently with Algebra 2 pre-AP if the student is very strong in math and has room in their schedule for it. I've had a few students over the years that do this, and most of them have been very successful doing that. So which one should you take? Well, there's a loose correlation between how well someone does in Algebra 1 and geometry. It's not exactly if they're an A student in Algebra 1, they're going to make an A in geometry. We can't really make that prediction. Some people are better at one than the other, but in general, if a kid struggles a lot in Algebra 1, they're probably going to struggle a lot in geometry. Typically, I get students in a pre-AP. If they did 60 or better on their Algebra 1 star, they're probably going to do pretty well or fairly well in a pre-AP geometry class. But we won't have had that information when you have to sign up for the class. So in general, we look for, if a student has struggled to maintain a solid B, they probably need to go on level. That's just basically true. If a student needs a lot of tutoring, they need a lot of repetition to learn a concept, and they should probably go on level geometry. Thank you very much, and I hope this helped.